Mr. Eubanks, good morning. Mr. Eubanks, you're here for first appearance accused of one count of resisting an officer without violence and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. You've also been accused of violating the terms of your probation based upon the new arrest. I read the complaint, and I want to hear from the state and defense on probable cause and other issues before making a decision on the bond revocation, whether or not the bond revocation, the violation of probation warrant. So, Mr. McDaniel, anything on behalf of Mr. Eubanks?
Well, Your Honor, he's on, conditional release and PTI. When I read the complaint, I didn't see any probable cause. I don't know if the police could actually go into their house and then detain them in their house, inside their house, because essentially he said some derogatory remarks to one of the officers. It does not really pass the smell test, but with him being on the PTI and the conditional release, I completely understand whatever.
Here's my question, Mr. McDaniel, Mr. Mitchell. So when I read the complaint, there's a reference to an identical twin brother. Mr. McDaniel, is it your understanding he actually has an identical twin brother, or is that something that's fictional?
He's got a twin brother.
So it looks like the officers put the burden on him to prove he wasn't the brother. They were there looking for the brother. They have a warrant for the brother, and they put the burden on Mr. Eubanks to show us that you're not your brother. And I don't know that that's appropriate. I don't know that they can put that. I think they got the right to investigate it and possibly detain him until they verify he's not the twin. But the language in the complaint is concerning, so I'm not. It's just an unusual fact pattern. So here's what the complaint says, Mr. Mitchell. Nicholas was asked where his brother was and that he would need to dispel our suspicions that he was not Michael Eubanks due to having no differing identifying traits. And I don't know that he needs to dispel anything. I don't know that in the United States, that's not his burden to disprove he's not who he is. It's law enforcement's burden to prove he is the person they're looking for. So that raises an issue in my mind. The second concern I have is then they allegedly found drug props with drug residue in them on his person, and he's on conditional release. So if it was a probation officer doing the search, I'm confident that it would be admissible in the VOP, but it couldn't lead to a new charge. This is not a probation officer doing the search. It's a law enforcement officer, so it's just a really unusual fact pattern. That's why I haven't signed the VOP warrant. I wanted to hear from both sides before I decided whether or not violation of VOP, violation of conditional release warrant, that is. So, Mr. Mitchell, what's the state's position?
Here, my position was, it just looked like, I feel like, if anything, I'm looking at it right quick.
If the state's willing to, I'm just going to suggest that the state dismiss those new charges and he do 30 days on the petty theft. I don't think that case is, I thought I had my issues with it, but if the state,
I have no problem with that.
I think the officers got the right to detain him until they verify his identity, but putting the burden on him to prove, I think that's probably a violation of due process. They can't require him to prove anything. It's their job to prove it. It's not his, but it sounds like y'all may have reached an agreement. So, Mr. Eubanks, you may be off PTI. Listen to Mr. McDaniel. We'll see if this is what you want to do, sir.
Your Honor, in 25-416-MM, he's going to admit that he's going to go ahead and plead no contest to the charge of petty theft. The understanding that he'll be sentenced to 30 days in the county jail. He'll have 1 day jail credit, be a $370 or whatever the fine is remaining on the case, probably the entire amount, and whatever the restitution is will be owed. There'll be a civil judgment if you don't get it worked off while he's at the jail. The restitution he'll have to pay at the clerk's office. I think it was less than $10. I would ask the court to consider withholding adjudication. He doesn't have anything, but that's Mr.
Mitchell, is that all agreeable with the state?
It is, Your Honor. And once we get an official case number for these new charges right here, I'll dismiss as a companion plea to the violation of, to the petty theft.
Mr. Eubanks, did you hear all that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about any of that, Mr. Eubanks?
No, sir.
And, sir, is that the plea you would like to enter on that old case with the understanding the state's going to dismiss the new charges based upon the jail sentence?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Eubanks, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest to the original charge of petty theft. I'm going to withhold adjudication of guilt. In that case, I'm going to sentence you to 30 days in jail, give you credit for the time that you've already served on that case, or all the time you served total. And that is how much, Stone?
He was in jail one day previously on the petty theft, so
he would have at least.
Oh, so 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
3 days credit. Court costs and fines remaining, Mr. Goodson.
There's a $370 court cost and $69.87 restitution. May I ask a question when you get through?
Sure, go ahead.
So are we going to pursue the violation, or is he just?
He's entering a plea, so I'm not signing the warrant because it's just going. There's no point in putting that warrant in the system.
Thank you, sir.
He's just going to enter a plea on that case, and we'll put the disposition in the system. And Mr. Mitchell's agreeing to dismiss the new case. So the sentence is 30 days. So you're going to be off the supervision. You're going to have that behind you. You don't have any convictions or anything from yesterday, and I'm continuing the withhold of adjudication because you had no prior history when you got the charge you're on supervision for. Mr. Eubanks, do you have any questions about any of that?
No, sir.
So I'm curious. The case is over. I am curious, though. The complaint says that when they were trying to determine whether it was you or your brother, they asked about tattoos and that you and your brother supposedly have the exact same tattoo also. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
So you're identical twins and even have the same tattoo, right?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Mr. Eubanks, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, when you finish this sentence, there's no probation to follow, sir. You finish this sentence, this is all behind you and over with. No more supervision, okay? Michael Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton, good morning. You're here because you were first appeared this weekend for driving with no valid driver's license. Mr. Hamilton, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you and ask that you listen to Mr. McDaniel, your attorney.
All right, may I ask you a question, Judge?
Let your attorney say what he wants to say for you on your behalf, and talk to him off the record. And I'm glad to try to answer your question if it's something I can answer.
Okay, hey, Judge Mercer. Is there any way I can get probation on this? I take care of an elderly lady named Cynthia LeBee. And that's originally why I got caught driving without a license, because I knew it was wrong, sir. I positively know it was wrong, but I went to go fill up her tank so she could move in the morning. I don't normally drive, and it was like kind of late, and she needed to go in the morning, and she ain't got no legs, so she can't get out and fill up her tank. So that's what I went to go do for her. I stopped for the officers. You can look at my record. I usually run if I'm in trouble. I have been out of trouble. I've stayed out of trouble. I am trying to do right, and I think I can do probation, Mr. Mercer.
You stayed out of trouble for how long?
I've been out of trouble for since I went to prison. I haven't been in no trouble.
Let me ask you a question. Let me interrupt you. Let me ask you a question. Before you answer my question, I'm looking at your criminal history.
Oh yeah, I had a trespass.
So my question was, how long has it been since you've been in trouble?
About a year.
No.
It's about the trespass. I had a trespass and a probation violation for the trespass. But
March 21st, 2025, less than 6 months ago.
Well, sir, that was just the trespass. The trespass, if I could explain the logistics of the trespass, you would understand.
It's not the trespass is the reason. The trespass is not the reason you're getting offered. This is the reason you got the offer that you got. It's probably 20 arrests in there. So your chances of me giving you probation is 0 based upon your criminal history.
Or the complaint also made mention that he.
Go
ahead,
Mr.
John.
Hamilton. He's going to enter a plea of no contest. The charges listed. You understand he's going to be sentenced to 60 days in the county jail. He have 1 day jail credit. There'd be a $400 fine, which would be a civil judgment unless he works it off while he's at the jail. He has signed his plea waiver form, waive his right to true trial and call witnesses.
Thank you. Mr. Mitchell's had agreeable with the state.
It is, Your Honor. And I was just saying that the complaint made mention that when he was pulled over and arrested, he possessed marijuana and needles also. So the state would have been objecting to probation based on his history and the facts of the case right there. So this offer that the court has made is agreeable with the state.
So, Mr. Hamilton, if your history were different, or if it had been longer since your last arrest, it'd be a different story. But Mr. Hamilton, what I have is what I have, and if that's accurate, that's the basis for what I'm doing, what I've approved. Mr. Hamilton, is this a plea you would like to enter, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hamilton, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest, no valid driver's license, driving with no valid driver's license. A judge you guilty, sentence you to 60 days in jail. Give you credit for 1 day you've served, $400 court costs and fines imposed. There'll be a civil judgment if you don't get them worked off. Mr. Hamilton, I'm hoping you get in that trustee program at the jail and get you some extra gain time and get out quite a bit earlier. But as far as probation, there's no supervision in this case. You finished the jail sentence. This is all over with. I do wish you the best. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Have a good day.
Today's my birthday, too.
I wish you happy birthday, sir.